I feel like we need some theme music coming in.
I know. I feel like it should be like some superhero type rock music with like a bass drop.
Mmm. Mmm. Kind of
You know what I'm saying?
like something you would find on WWF.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Like the
Yeah.
smoke,
Yeah.
but the sound effects of the smoke.
Yeah. Yeah. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that.
Hey, for y'all
But
watching, and somebody got somebody who produced some beats, man. Anybody watching this? We're on Facebook. We're live right now on Facebook and YouTube. If you're watching this and you put together some beats and you've seen any of Bro Study, and if you haven't, go back on Facebook. And I think we got one other one on my YouTube. Go look at Bro Study. Get a feel for us and let us know if you want to make us a dope intro song. Donate to a good cause because we don't want to pay you.
right.
Donate to a good cause. Oh man, but yeah,
my nephew makes beats. He's
okay,
about to be 15. So we'll
okay.
see if he can put together something for us.
Hey, yeah, that'll be dope. Give him some shine,
Yeah.
man. You know what I'm saying? Because I'll put them on.
Yeah.
I'll let everybody know. What's up,
Okay.
beautiful people? Y'all hanging out with the bros. We coming for another edition, segment, episode, whatever you want to call it, of Bro Study. I don't know if y'all see the banner at the bottom of the screen. But tonight, the topic is how Reverend Goodbody is supported. No, 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 no.
Oh.
The topic
oh boy.
is President Kanye West. So that's just a broad topic that we're throwing out there. But anyway, before we get into that, we're gonna exchange our pleasantries. Brandon, what up, man? What's going on? Hold up, before you do that, y'all let me know in the comments. Anybody watching, let me know in the comments if I look a little pixelated or a lag maybe in my video quality. And I say that because on Brandon's end, I think he described it, I look like a cartoon. So I want to make sure that I'm good. So y'all let me know in the comments, man, on Facebook. Y'all let me know if my video is clear. Y'all let me know something. Anyway, yeah. Bro, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man.
Awesome. Good to
I'm
hear.
good, bro. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. It's just an interesting time that we're living in.
Yeah, definitely. True that. True that. Very interesting time. And it's all about, I think, I think we just talked a few days ago and we just talked about how it's still, still 2020 vision, you know what I'm saying? And it's all about not only what's going on, but your perspective of what's going on. Your perspective of what's going on and how you view it. And it's mindset too. All right, Chris said, yeah, a little, but not too bad. All right, Chris, if you still watching, let me know if that changed it. Chris, let me know if that made it better. Anybody else, let me know how my video looks. Because on my end in the studio, of course, we're using StreamYard. On my end in the studio, I look crisp, but I can't be out here in these streets looking like pixels and stuff. So, yeah. But yeah, like you say, man, I think interesting time for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How was
man.
your weekend, bro?
Good. Sunday was nice. Saturday was nice. Didn't do much. We had our Sunday social. Had a really good conversation. For the people that don't know, we do Sunday social on IG Live and YouTube on Agora. It's at a cannabis temple. And Sunday social is just, basically their version of Bro Study.
Yeah, kicking it,
We just
right?
yeah. So tune in to that every Sunday at 2:22 Pacific Standard Time. Um,
222. I like that.
Pacific Coast Time. Sorry.
Yeah,
Uh,
PCT.
PCT. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Was it okay? Now, am I having a Mandela effect moment? At one point, wasn't it PST? Wasn't it Pacific Standard at one point in our lives?
It could be, and I could be wrong right now. I don't even know.
I know. I think you're right because I see that, and I always think, why is it not PST? I think you're right. I think
mm,
sometimes I may put PST, but I think it is PCT. But I don't know.
mm.
Anyway, okay, Alfonso, appreciate that. He said it's okay from here. At the beginning, there was a lag in sound. Okay, yeah,
Oh.
I'm not sure. But y'all let me know if the video is clear, if everything's clear now. But appreciate you, Alfonso. So yeah, man. Same here, man. It was pretty good weekend. Well, we talked Thursday, right? We had a bro
Hmm.
study Thursday, right? Okay, yeah, Thursday. So because it's so funny, time flies. So it seemed like it was yesterday.
Right, right.
Like we was just talking. But yeah, pretty good weekend as well. And then I made a commitment to myself and I went live on Facebook and put it out there for accountability. That I'm gonna just reignite that process that I had going, man, and recommence the bounce back, man, because I was like, okay, for me, I'm back in the gym now, but I was going late at night. I want to avoid people because COVID. But I said, you know what? I was sitting Friday and I told Felicia, I was like, dang, I didn't have a great week this week, you know what I'm saying? Because too many things come up. I'll do things in the evening and then it's just an easy excuse to say I'm tired. I'll wake up early and go walking around the neighborhood, do some yoga, work at home. Nah. So made a commitment, start getting back up at 4 a.m., man, be out the door. I was in the gym this morning about 4:40, got my workout in, 2, 3 people at the max. It's like 3 or 4 other guys in there when I left out the door. It's like, yep, feels good. Whole day felt productive. So that's the thing, man. So that's this week, man. That's it's gonna go down.
Right, right, right. Yeah,
So I'm
man.
excited about that. I'm excited, man.
What's that? What's that? What's that on your shirt, man? What's that say?
It's my instructional shirt of the day. It's letting you know how to pick up chicks. Literally, how to pick up chicks. One of the shirts we got at other side. So for y'all that don't know, when you're doing StreamYard, right is left and left is right. So when you're adjusting, it's so weird
Oh,
because
right, right, right.
I'm I'm reaching now. I know, okay, it's over here. If I look down, but I'm looking at the screen, I'm like, Maui, no, it's over here. So shirt I got at one of the graphic tee places in Hawaii when we went on our cruise last year. So one of my favorite shirts. It always gets a bunch of good reactions.
So what? So man, did you see the speech, bro?
So here's the thing, and I did something that I don't normally do, and I guess I feel bad, but I don't because then I heard some of the rest. But what I like to do is watch things in context, right? So like we talked about a little bit last week with the whole Nick Cannon situation, and the question I put out to everybody: have you seen the whole thing? So with this, with presidential candidate, it sounds crazy to say, but with presidential candidate Kanye West, I saw the part that was shared, right? But then I heard some of the other stuff that was said, and I was like, oh, but yeah, man. So that's the thing. That's what we're talking about, man. And I thought about the title tonight, and I was going to title it Harriet Tubman. Harriet Tubman didn't actually free the slaves. She just made it possible for them to work for white people, for other white people. So,
What
but I
is
was like,
that?
no, let me not title it that.
What does that even mean?
You know what? I have no idea. I saw a video that was done on Instagram to say, okay, let's put this in context and the time. Um, who had the jobs then? And let's remember that they were free. They were being freed, at least free to work and not be a slave. But yeah, man, it's a lot, man. It's a lot to unpack with that situation, man. So that's why I wanted to bring it to Bro Study, man. I know you always have a very open-minded point of view with these things, man. So I couldn't wait to talk about this tonight because I know how I feel, man, but I like to get your thoughts first because you bring that calm, and it may calm me down from some of my thoughts.
um, I don't take things personal anymore, man. So
You can't.
uh,
You can't, man.
it's not very much that gets me riled up anymore. But I do observe what's going on. There was you could tell that I haven't seen the whole thing, but what I did see was clips, and the way that it's
Hmm.
chopped up is painting a certain narrative. But even through that narrative, I see Kanye being a little emotional and a little out of touch, and it sounded like he was ranting.
Yeah.
And it also, I don't know if you saw the part when he talked about his dad wanting to abort him. Man, it sounded like he had just realized that for the first time, or that he had
Mm.
just dealt with it for the first time, because it just made him break down and cry. Like,
Yeah.
well, if you've
Yeah.
been going to therapy, you've healed from this already. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or at least you would think so. So when I saw that, I'm like, oh man, this man still got a lot of pain in him. If I'm not mistaken, he was taking bipolar medication for a while, and my thoughts on medication like that, man, anything that's doing something to your brain that's not natural, you gotta be really careful of. So it's no telling what kind of medication he was taking that has put him in this state, or he just found himself in this place. I don't know, but
Yeah.
it ain't the same conscious mind from um, college dropout.
Yeah, man. I know. It's so funny because we say these things, right? Like, man, and I think it's from a place of genuine, like, um, kind of disappointment and like, you know, really kind of wishful thinking. We say the old Kanye, man. Give me the old Kanye. You know what I mean? Because the message and the strength. And Felicia and I were riding. We were coming back to the house tonight or earlier this evening, and I was just saying how I listened to Through the Wire the other day when he was talking, just fresh off surgery and all that stuff, and just his messaging and that energy that you felt, kind of just like that genuine grit, that you felt like I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna be there on that stage one day. And it's like, man, you think about all the things that went wrong um along the way. And so here's my kind of whole thing with it, man. It's like, for me, the part I get disappointed with is that it seems like over and over again it's the same narrative with him. Album about to drop, or he's about to release some new Yeezys or something like that, and he does something that's super duper polarizing, and that's just going to grab the attention of the media and of just, I'll say the media period, because the black community and black Twitter and all that, I'll put that in that category. But the thing that disappoints me the most, I guess, is that these titles, right? Mental health, or he hadn't been right since his mom died, and all these different things. And to me, I just feel, and I've seen some posts about this, and I kind of agree with them. I feel like it's unfair to people who are struggling with mental health, or to an orphan like myself, like to blame everything on uh oh, when his mom died and this and that. It's like, okay, Kanye, at this point, even something you said, like, okay, have you gotten therapy, or what was done in therapy, or even with the medications that you're taking that has you thinking this way? Because at this point, man, for me, it goes beyond like mental health, because in certain crowds you know how to carry yourself. But there was even a point in there where um Felicia was telling me, like, it was, he yelled, like, kind of raised his voice at one of the black women, like, I can't even see you behind a mask and this and that. And it's like, dude, what's going on? It's almost like it's almost like a explosion of different things, just like un undirected energy.
That's a mental health issue, bro.
It is. I mean, it is. I get
He
that.
I get what you're saying. You're saying because I feel it basically is like, hey, I went some through the same struggles you went through, so I'm not using my stuff as an excuse, so you shouldn't either. And I get that, but I think unfortunately, depending on what you surround yourself with, it influences you. So, what is his circle influencing him to do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What is his support group? You know,
Yeah.
it's a family that has made their wealth off of family drama. So how can you find peace in that? Because he talked about that. Actually, he said, that was part of the healing for him, that he saw family and his wife's family, which I
Mm-hmm.
thought was interesting because what they're showing to the public is that it's always chaotic and dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so, but yeah, man, everybody's accountable for self and everybody's responsible. And if it was just because he's trying to get some publicity, I would respect that more and be okay with that. But it looks like he really believes this stuff. And it sometimes looks like, yo, he not even there right now. Like, this is just a voice that's just spitting out sound right now. That dude is not there. And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
kind of, yeah.
And so part of that too, to go back to what you said, my bro Moss said he is special, and not in a good way. Yeah, definitely. And special depending on what side of that polarity you look at that, man. Like it's so it's so crazy because he's a special talent. He's a special case right now. But here's my thing too. One thing you said, bro, is like the circle, right? And when he made the comments the last time, or not the last time, but the comments about, slavery was a choice and all this stuff, so many people tried to reach out to him, like so many people. And my thing is, I'm looking at it as okay, it's not like he's not known or doesn't have access to putting himself in a good circle. So at this point, I feel like it's almost rejecting those people who actually want to help you and say, hey, bro, come on, let's talk about it, whatever. Best example of that is Van Lathan. Man, when Van talked with him and spoke with him, and even there were other interviews after that where he said, look, I had a conversation and this and that, this is what happened. And it's like, man, at what point is it, you know, you want the help or you want to change or you want to see the best for your situation? Because come on, at some point you got to realize that some of the stuff you're saying and that you're putting out on the stage that you're on is damaging
Damaging to who?
to everybody who hears it. And this is why I mean damaging to, first of all, to him, because you're probably alienating some people that will support you, right? Also damaging to, we talk about often, right, of traumas, right? Traumas, especially in the Black community.
Mm-hmm.
And although you and I can elevate or vibrate above that type of stuff and taking that, like you said earlier, like, man, I don't take anything personal, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I don't, take the word of what celebrities stuff put out there, but everybody's not that way. And so when you're saying this stuff, just carelessly putting stuff out there, man, dude, like that's bringing harm to some people that can't take that and say, well, that's him. He's saying that, it doesn't apply to me. That's just how I
What
feel about it.
I feel you. What in particular? What did you feel was dangerous?
No, no, I didn't say dangerous, not
Oh, sorry.
dangerous, like damaging. Yeah,
That
damaging.
damn. That's
In
the
other
word.
words, like,
Sorry.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
like for instance, in my, this is following Kanye, right?
Mm-hmm.
From again what we said earlier, the old Kanye to 2020 Kanye,
Right.
2018, 2020 Kanye. What happens is now I'm trying to see how to explain this in a good way. Okay, you, you got that homie, right? That you cool
Mm-hmm.
with. Y'all
Mm-hmm.
run the same halls, y'all come up together, all this stuff. And then all of a sudden that homie starts saying some really crazy stuff about you. And you're like, man, look, I don't know what's going on with him. We never fell out personally, at least I don't know that. But then y'all were thick as thieves. But now it's like he's saying, "Oh man, he ain't about nothing." You know what I'm saying? He ain't doing nothing. He's this, he's that. And so my thing is the verbal stuff of now this total flip to where it's like you have no care. This is how I hear it. It's like you don't have any care of almost the flip of what you said some years ago. President Bush doesn't care about black people. Like, man, at this point, you don't care about black people, man, because your actions are showing otherwise. Like, dude. So that's what I mean by that when I say it's like, man, you spitting out just some trash, some hot trash.
Okay. But you didn't tell me which part though.
Me personally, I think just about everything that he
Everything.
says now. The reason why I say that because
Oh,
it's not it's not a coherent or in other words it's not a flow. You know how they say if you can't bring value or you can't bring anything good to the table, maybe it'd just be best if you just stay out the way. Do what you do. And Kanye, listen, you can make music, you can make clothes, you can do whatever you do. You don't open your mouth, you good forever. But now when you start saying
ah.
all this stuff, dude, it's like, man, and that's why I say to me, it's like everything. Like just don't even talk, man. Find you, discover you, heal you, do whatever you need to do. But at this point, I guess for me personally, and this has been honest, at this point, I just get tired of the antics. Here's the other thing, because I think 2020 is just such a crazy year and an important year in our history. We ain't talking about just because everything going on, but just an important year with where we are in just world affairs and as a nation. And so this whole thing of running for president, I'm taking my name out, or I'm back in there, and now I'm going on my campaign tour. I'm gonna start doing rallies and stuff, and it's like really, Kanye? And that's really kind of my thought. Like, really, Kanye? Are you
but
serious?
but Donald Trump did it.
He did. Exactly. We don't need another one.
So that's why Kanye feels it's okay that he can do it. If Donald Trump, who has no political bone in his body, can become the president just because he's influential, why wouldn't Kanye go, you know what? Shoot, I got just as much or even more influence as this dude. I don't know about politics, but I care about people. People around the world love me. Shoot. He ain't never been in the military. He doing it. Must be a piece of cake.
Right.
So
But here's my thing though. Does he d- by your people can only go by actions, right? So does he care about people or
I
does he
think
care
Kanye.
about
I think.
money?
I think. No. I think Kanye cares about people. I think Kanye just has lost himself, so that he
Mm-hmm.
does not know how to care about people because he has forgotten how to fully care about himself because he hasn't been given that space to because he still has to interact with other people. So he's been pulled so many different ways. Maybe if he separated from the whole world, kind of do like what Chappelle did, like maybe he just need to go to Africa for a whole year by himself. No Kardashian, no kids, no entourage, just some some mushrooms, some Dr. Sabi tea, and and a voodoo ceremony, and he'll come
So
back good as new.
so bro, do you want to start this GoFundMe, or do you want me to start it? Let's reach out, because that's the thing. Here's my thing, and here's another thing, right? I'm not going to negate. I said that from the start. Like, yes, we know something's going on, because you just can't be all here and behave that way unless it was all a ploy. And I don't think it's all a ploy, but I just think for the most part at this point, get that help, man, and just kind of, I don't know. And it is some environment stuff, right? I believe that, but at the same time, I just know over and over again where people, and I'm sure, I mean, you got to think about it. I mean, he knows people. It's not like he doesn't have anybody that'll reach out and want the best for him. So I don't
See,
know.
here's part of the issue too. Because look at what we just said a few minutes ago. We want the old Kanye, but man, that dude, he was messed up then, man. It just didn't look that way because it sounded like something we need to hear, like, oh, George Bush don't care about black people. But for anybody to just blurt something out like that, he already is not just balanced within himself. And for
Yeah,
that moment, it was a good reason, but we couldn't tell then or in the moment where he snatched that mic, which
yeah.
that was I appreciate that moment because it was kind of like a pushback to the industry, like, yo, man, stop stepping on us like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, good and darn well, Beyonce was way better than Taylor this year. So I got to say something about it. So I can't get mad at that. That was a political stance. Um, but then something happened, man, because there was a point in time where he was tweeting stuff and doing like little seminars where he was like dropping some knowledge. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, Kanye, he on it. Whoa, he good. And then slave is the choice thing happened. And then somewhere, maybe a couple months after that, after he started doing the Sunday thing, something happened, man. I don't know what it
So,
was.
so that's the other thing, right? Do you believe that there was some ploy, or that something or someone or someone's people, somebody got to him at some point and like mess with this man? My thing is, in the back of my mind, the way I think, because I'm very open minded. I feel like, dude, like the possibilities are endless. Like, man, straight up had him in some room or some kind of conversion type therapy or something, or I don't know. Seriously, man, because I, you know, I don't know. I just, in my mind, it's hard for me to accept the fact that this is really a true, like you said, someone who cares for people, right? And want to see some good. This is the stuff that will come out of their mouth. But yet and still it is over and over and over again. But like, I wonder, like, how can, I don't know if it's a we, but what can we get him send? Can we send him off somewhere and say, look, heal yourself? Now
Mm-mm.
what?
He's a part of the story, man.
Yeah.
We're all a part of one collective consciousness. And when we see things collectively, that is a story of us. And he represents a part of us. You know what I mean? What does he
Yeah.
represent? He represents that part of that ego that has so much talent and ability, but has lost that inner touch with, that unconditional love. Because
Mm.
you will see more of a calmness over him. He always seems passionate. I notice when people are passionate, that's a sign that they haven't fully dealt with the things that are going on inside of them. Preachers are that way.
Mm.
When somebody is preaching at you, They're shouting at you because they know the thing, but they haven't manifested the thing.
Man.
So you can like
Oh,
I
go ahead. Go ahead. I'm gonna finish your thought.
I noticed that um I had worked around Dame Dash for a few days, and this dude got like some business. Like I'm learning a lot. Like,
Mm-hmm.
damn, this dude's smart. He know about history. He know about like, you know, just educated dude.
Yeah.
And you would think when somebody has all that knowledge, like people say on woke, that they got it, but that's only part of the journey. Becoming woke or
Indeed.
aware, that just means you've learned more information about yourself and you understand that you've been lied about some things. But that don't mean that you fully addressed all your trauma. That don't mean you've
Mm-hmm.
mastered finding true love. That's a process
Yes, sir.
that comes after that. And people don't like to take that journey to do that because it's lonely.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to. And so
Yeah.
they'll stop at just knowing stuff and then thinking that, oh, if I know it, all I gotta do is tell people and then I'll be saving the world. It's like, no, it won't, because what's gonna come behind your words is all that trauma that's still suppressed behind you. And that's what we're saying in the Kanye. Like, you're a brilliant, smart guy, but you haven't found yourself. So you're manipulating your own truth, and you're like it's starting to look like self-destruction.
You headed for self destruction. Self destruction. Look, man. What I was gonna say when I was about to interrupt you was just that Reverend Goodbody, you preaching a word now, because I I think that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do one of the earliest bro studies we had about the stages of enlightenment or awareness, is that there is, I know that I can see that for myself. So when you said that, it's like looking in the mirror, that passion and that overly aggressive type passion, that is one of those things where you haven't dealt with yourself so much. When you deal
Mm-hmm.
with yourself and you figure out all the stuff in here and you
Mm-hmm.
get it, and you go in that deep dark place of unrattling all that stuff,
It
then you
doesn't
could be
matter.
calm.
It doesn't matter that nobody else got it around you.
Right. Then you could be like, hey, and it's one of those things where it took me a while to get to the point where I'm like, I get it. I would tell Felicia, man, it's amazing. You see these master teachers and these metaphysics, all these people on these videos saying some very, what we would say, controversial stuff that is just fact, and they're just calm, just like this. They're saying it because there's no battle in here. It's no battle to get you to agree with what I'm saying, because I'm just putting out there. I'm just communicating, right? Dialoguing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I was like, you are definitely right about that. So, like, and this is just a hypothetical conversation we're having, everybody. So y'all feel free to chime in. We had some comments in there, but my thing is, so what I think, what is the in his setup? A lot of people, what do you think about a lot of people that say, well, first of all, it's the people around him and that family that he's connected to, that ain't helping him. What are your thoughts on that, man? Because I mean,
I can't say. I have no
I got
idea,
you.
because man, who knows what he might be learning from being around that family? Because at the end of the day, it's still a family. And some people don't get a chance to be around family. And I think the fact that you just around it is a lesson in itself. You know what I mean? Like, but I mean, sometimes it depends, because some people had a very traumatic experience growing up around family. Like, I've talked to people who said they don't talk to anybody in their family no more because they disown them because it was such a terrible experience.
Yeah.
But to be around a family who communicates with each other all the time, and you never had that, I think that's something that you can gain from that. But come on, man, you know that there's a nurturing and there's a groundedness that doesn't come from this family based on what their business is. So it doesn't give them an opportunity to like put their intentions on uh things that will heal you from your trauma, because their family didn't experience that. So they're
Mm-hmm.
not going to understand him in ways that, another sister would. So, I can see how he would be missing out on a lot of resonance. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
being able to resonate with somebody on a deeper level to help him through to that other side because they get it. Because I think
Mm.
in that regard, he might be by himself because nobody else in that family could be able to get how he feels or why he feels that way because they're from a totally different world. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, I'm telling you, Brandon. That's why I say I like I like to get your input because your thought process and when you relay your thoughts, it's calming because it. You can have some aggressive thoughts, but hearing you and you put it out plain, it brings a calm. Now, I will say this: this I, I'm I'm not making light of the situation, but I'm just looking at the again, just based off what I see. Now, who knows? They are a media mogul family. Chris Jenner
Hmm.
is a genius at running that media business, right? Of a family. So I the reason why I say this is because I'm not gonna lie, like years ago, I used to watch Keeping Up with Kardashians and stuff. And so if you look at the history of the men that are in relationships, dude, Lord Disick, that's what he named himself at one point. But like
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Courtney, is it Courtney? Courtney's husband? Like
Uh-uh.
he had a whole type little thing where it was outbursts and stuff. Now again, I don't know if it's just for TV, but like it was like a season and a half where he was just on one. And then I look at like all the the basketball players and athletes now. Even Caitlyn is a whole woman now, and so it's like I don't know. I just
Mm,
I mean, it's there, right? You
right.
can't ignore it. You know what I'm saying? Because now here's the thing: if we look at dysfunctional, a lot of us can come from or be in dysfunctional families. So that's the one.
Hmm.
Like I don't have to.
Oh, real quick, cause I didn't finish. I forgot that cause I wanted to be clear on a point from earlier when I was talking about Dame. I was saying that he
Oh yeah, yeah,
had a lot of knowledge, but I could tell that he still hadn't dealt with a lot of internal emotional stuff,
yeah,
and so the imbalance was still there, and
right.
that was eye opening for me because it was confirmation. Like, yeah, you can learn all this information, but if you still haven't dealt with yourself, you're just gonna be smart and sick versus sleep and sick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah,
So,
true.
uh,
And we see that
yeah.
time and time again, right? And it's funny you say that because you could see some interviews he's had in that span of time where I don't know how long ago that was when you worked with him, but you can see him on some of his interviews and you can see that it's like, dude, the stuff you saying, that's some good stuff, but like, dude, So yeah, that you're so right with that. And that's why again, that journey is something that nobody can go on for you. Nobody can push or pull you through. Now you can make up in your mind that okay, I'm going to accept some people helping me through it and I'm going to learn all I can, but that's a journey that everyone must take to elevate higher, and it's a journey that nobody can do for you because it's a process. Like you said, that's the best way to describe that. It's a process, man. You're going to have to deal with some stuff. Look, I know personally, that's why I said when you were explaining that, it's like looking in the mirror because I know myself, I had to look back at some stuff even from my childhood. And for me, it was different because, okay, now for the most part, people can, in some cases, I'm not even going to say most cases, I don't like generalizations, but in some cases, people can go back and either reach out to their parents or their grandparents or, somebody in their household when they was growing up and say, hey, this and that is something I want to talk about. But for me, it was kind of like, nah, I can't pick up the phone and say, hey mom, man, I got some questions. Hey dad, I got some questions, because here's the thing too, bro. What's so crazy about it is I feel like now my mom, it was 95, right? When my mom transitioned on. And so, as much as I know, my mom, she was very like strict, you know what I'm saying? Very loving, but very strict. But my dad, his journey, he kind of softened in terms of some of the traditional like strictness and stuff. So we used to have some really good conversations. And so that was one of the things back in like 2015 when everything really kind of ignited for me. It's like, dang, if I could talk to Prince James Jr. right now, man, I know it would be
Mm.
a good conversation because he wasn't the type to shut anyone down who has a difference of opinions. Like my dad really could talk to anybody, like for real, and he would make anybody feel like they were the best, like a good person, like genuine. My dad would just like, no matter if it was a gangster, homeless person, whatever it was, man, my dad would make somebody walk away feeling like, wow, yeah, it is a calling on my life, or man, I feel amazing because that's just how he was. So yeah, that's the thing, man. It's like that journey. It was a little harder for me because I couldn't pick up the phone or go home and say, hey, we got to have a talk. So yeah, he definitely needs that, man. He needs that
Well,
space.
well, the journey is a individual one. So, you know, you're gonna
Mhm.
find yourself at some place realizing that you can't call on anybody, and this is something you have to figure out on your own because it's all going on inside of your mind,
Mm.
and
Yep.
nobody else can hear it but you. You know what I mean? So you got to go to that place and see what that thing is and do something about it. Um, that was man. I don't know how to explain it without sounding biased, but we're all reflections of ourselves of each other, right? So if you're trying to find that love, that unconditional love, the universe will send you opportunities to find it.
Mm-hmm.
So it usually sends it to you in the form of this is your meter by who you become sexually attracted to, because all of your emotions are connected. So if that energy down there is rising, that's because something right here is going on, or something right here. You know what I mean?
Right.
But that's waking up something inside of you.
Yeah.
So instead of seeing if this is the perfect person for you, instead of leading with that, lead with why do I feel this way about this person? Because everyone you feel that way about is revealing something to you about yourself, because you're only attracting to you what's inside of you. So that's how you learn about yourself. And usually, if you have a lot of trauma, then you're going to attract somebody to who represents that trauma. And
Yeah.
so instead of fighting with that person, learned how to find unconditional love for this person who keeps doing things that seems to have an effect on you. Because once you learn how to do that, then you learn how to find unconditional love for yourself in the areas that make you feel affected or less than or hurt. That's the whole inner journey. Is to find unconditional loves for the places in your life or in your heart where you have fear or you have pain or you have sorrow. Say, no, you good. It's okay that you didn't get, you know, your high school crush. It's okay that your dad didn't call you every day. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
You're good. You don't have to feel hurt by that anymore. It's okay that she doesn't know how to show you love in ways that you remember it from your mom.
Mm-hmm.
And once you start to like do all those self reflections, like Natalie just said,
Yep.
which is something that we've been learning a lot of, you start to find unconditional love, man. So I don't know if Kanye and Kim are on that journey together, but anyone who is seeking a relationship, that's actually what you're really seeking. You're
Mm-hmm.
really seeking the starting point of starting that inner journey to
Yeah.
finding yourself.
Hey,
And this
look,
person in front of you is your support mate.
man, look, that whole last however many minutes that was of what you just talked about, could be a whole nother bro study, right? Because that's important. People underestimate how much the things you go through, the people in your circle, the people you attract, the situations, all this stuff, how much things are a reflection of you. Your universe, it reflects what you're putting out and the signals and all this stuff. And if you're dealing with traumas and hurts and pains and this and that and issues and things not dealt with, we don't realize how powerful the unsaid and non-physical things that we're putting out is attracting stuff to us. And so that's a whole journey in and of itself. Like you say, that self-reflection, man, through others. And like Natalie said, that is the beginning of that transformation, because you start to realize, wait a minute. And I tell people all the time, like, okay, if you're looking at why do I always this? Why do I always that? Why is it that what are you saying? What are you saying? What are you doing on a consistent basis that is putting you in a situation where that's the constant reflection that you're doing? Because when you're walking through life, you're literally walking through at the fair, the old fair little building, the mirror maze, where you're just walking
Mm-hmm.
everywhere you go is you, and you don't know if you feel in the mirrors. That's life. That's like life's journey. You're literally walking through a mirror maze. And that point where you figure it out, that's when you come out on the other side. It's like, okay, I dealt with myself. And then now you're going through that whole journey again.
Have the ego, man. And the ego isn't some enemy. And because that's the problem we have in religion. Uh, the God and devil concept puts us in limitations because now you have something good that's fighting for you, and then you having something bad that's fighting for you. And in the
Mm,
grand scheme of things, none of those really exist because you have the power and the energy to make something good or bad in relation to yourself. So it doesn't give you the opportunity to investigate the manifestations of the ego if your only concept of the ego is this evil devil, because now
yeah.
that's only one personality. But apparently
Mm,
the ego got about 82,000 personalities,
right.
and they're all the forms of different ideas about yourself that you created.
Yeah.
So whether you're a procrastinator, whether you're a hurtful person, whether you are shy, whether you're insecure, these are all different manifestations of your own ego. And then those are the illusions that you have to break when you're going through that inner journey of yourself, because those egos turn into monsters. But you
Mm,
created the monster to scare you away just in case you wasn't ready to kill it. You know what I mean?
mm,
I'm trying to
yeah.
tell a story here. So then
Yeah. Come on.
once
Come
you're
on with
ready
it.
to like you should go watch Monsters Inc. That's how you heal and go through your inner journey, because these monsters in the closet only survive if you fear them. But the moment you allow yourself to not fear anymore and face them, then they're not monsters anymore, but they become your friends.
Man, speaking of that, and Monster Mike, shout out to Monster Mike, from from that. But listen, man, Hollywood, right? So many messages, dude. It's so many messages in movies and shows and cartoon, whatever it is. So on that same note, you were talking about that, right? And that reflection. Have you heard of or seen or either started or heard of Warrior Nun, the new
Mm-mm,
series on Netflix?
mm-mm.
Bro, if you get a chance, check it out, man. And then we're
It's
going,
good.
oh, is it good, man? It's amazing. And we're gonna have to talk about it. And
Okay.
it's a portion in there when it gets to a point where literally they're doing a whole episode based on what we're talking about right now. The way you're going to tackle and conquer some things is when you deal with what's in here. And so what happens is it's a part in there where I don't want to give anything away, but when you see it, you'll know exactly the episode I'm talking about. Where the
Okay.
only way they can conquer this task in front of them is to deal with the actual thing in here. that undealt with trauma, that actual fear, that thing that's keeping them from breaking through. And so it's like, man, over and over again, man. These, of course, when you're operating on a certain frequency, you see everything differently in Hollywood. but
Right,
but yeah,
right.
man, Warrior Nun, man, it's good, and it also gives a whole lot of detail, man, about the Catholic Church and the Vatican and all that. So it's good.
Mm,
Yo, yeah, it's good, man. Like
nice.
every episode, it's pause moments. Like when Felicia and I are watching it, man, it's like pause. It's like little mini conversations in every
Okay.
episode. So yeah, it's good. But yeah,
Me and that gonna have to check that out then.
man, please do, man. Y'all check it out and let me know. Let me know when y'all dive into a couple of episodes.
Okay.
But yeah,
Uh, yeah, man. Yeah, man. Be, and the messages are there because at the end of the day, you can't get around the system of mythology, and the mythology is story of us.
yeah,
So acting and art is just a reflection of life. So you can't tell anything other than what you see, you know?
mm,
Um, so yeah, we're getting different perspectives of what people are seeing on a very personal or intimate or introspective level, you know?
yeah,
And there are a lot of symbolisms because, that's how you get to the people who are not conscious. You gotta hit them with symbols. And then later on, they hit them like, oh,
okay.
that's
Well,
what they was talking about 10
that's
years
what
ago.
that's what I was gonna say. Like, I was gonna say, like, do they get that message when you're putting it in there for a person who's not conscious? You know what
Did
I mean?
you did you get Lion King when you was 10 years
Hell
old?
no, hell no,
Exactly.
man.
But you get it now.
Man, like Matrix, Lion King, Sixth Sense, uh, I mean, you name it. It's so many of them, man. You go back, and even now, you go back and watch those over and over again, and you continually get fresh revelations. Like, whoa, what?
People need to go back and watch Inception.
Yeah, Inception, man. That's one I've been. I'm glad you said, because this one I said, it's long, but I need to go back and watch, because I know, even sometimes for me, I think back to some certain movies. I'm like, I need to go watch so and so again now.
Yeah, yeah.
so so yeah, yeah. I gotta. I'm gonna have to do that for sure. Go back and check that one out.
Yeah. I hear the old guard is good, so I'm gonna check that one out too.
Old Guard is great.
It's
Oh
good?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's good, man. It's another good one. It's yeah, it's good, man. It's so, I feel like almost now it's so many more that you. Well, again, it depends on, like, where you are in your own mind, because like now for me, man, all of them like, whoa, like I gotta go back and see this. I want to go back and watch Upload and
Mm.
so many of them again, man, and even ones I've watched already. So yeah, yeah, it's a lot out there though. But what up,
Do you
Ashley?
wa-
Ashley said I'm late.
Oh. Do you watch Rick and Morty?
You know what? I've only seen clips, and I know every time I see a clip or share it on a page or something like that, I know
You're
it's deep
missing
cut,
out,
but I
man.
never got into it, man.
Missing out, man. It's great.
So Rick and Morty, is it still coming on new episodes, or is it just because it's
They
what
they
is
they just they just finished season 4.
Comedy Central or
Adult Swim.
Adult Swim? Okay, yeah, because I know
Hmm.
it's an adult oriented cartoon, but yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
Nat,
Yeah.
what about Fatal Affair?
Uh
Natalie, what? So y'all watch that?
no, I think she watched it, but I've been hearing mixed reviews about it.
Natalie, what are your thoughts on Fatal Affair? I just want somebody else to say something before I give my thoughts on it. I
I
have my
saw
thoughts.
I saw a picture today with Nia Long on set in the film. Somebody paused the movie
Like
and
this,
she apparently on her phone upside down. Oh man, oh come on.
man.
You
Look,
can't be doing that. Was this another
I
Tyler Perry
know.
movie?
No, no, it wasn't.
Oh,
It
okay,
was.
okay, good, good, good.
I saw that. I saw that, man. I, I'm. I want to see what Natalie thoughts are. Now, so I'm in the Netflix club, a group on Facebook about just Netflix movies and stuff and shows, and they trashing it. Okay, so here's the main reviews, right? People say, "Oh, it's just another Lifetime movie," or this and that. Like, okay, rushed. Okay, I'm glad. Okay, I'm glad Natalie said that because to me, watching it, right? Felicia hadn't watched it yet, but I was up late one night and I just watched it because I saw it new release, and I
Mm,
saw it probably maybe second or third night it was out, and I was like, okay, it's not bad, man. I mean, the concept and stuff, it's predictable. It's pretty predictable, yeah, but so is a lot of movies of that nature, right?
mm,
And
mm, mm.
for the most part, man, I think it's at least worth the watch, man. And support black, support black, support black, man. But
Man.
yeah, it's different. It's different. I'll say
Okay.
that. Yeah,
I'm gonna watch Old Guard and I'm gonna watch Warrior Now. We're gonna do that.
yeah. Old Guard and Warrior Nun, man. I'm gonna go back and watch some War. I mean, I'm gonna go back and watch some of that again, Old Guard, and then Warrior Nun, man. Yeah. In fact, I
And I
might
need
watch the episode before I go to sleep.
and we gotta finish Kipo. Kipo is good,
Kipo,
man. Yeah.
K E
DreamWorks.
E K E E P O
KIPO.
KIPO. Okay,
Uh-huh. It's
DreamWorks.
it's yeah, it's on Netflix. It's kind of like a PG-13, but the storyline, man, is good. You know how they be dropping them
Oh yeah, yeah.
those
DreamWorks and all those, man. Some of them animated ones is like, man. God, look, I'm a man out here in these streets, but Coco, man, still
Oh,
might have
I haven't even finished that one yet.
still might make my tear duct swell up a little bit, man. You haven't
Wow.
finished Coco?
Mm-mm.
Coco, man, is amazing. I ain't gonna lie.
I heard.
It's good, man. I
I heard.
watched at one point I watched Coco and Moana so much. Felicia was like,
Moana is good.
"Oh yeah." At one point, man, I watched Coco so much that Felicia was like, "I was like Felicia, I got something to watch." And she looked at me like, "Come on." So
Ah.
people would come over and like, "Hey, I got something we can watch." So yeah, it's a lot of good ones out there though, man. But yeah, yeah, we'll do a bro study soon, man. Just discussing some of these series and stuff. So
Yeah, yeah,
and
for sure.
I gotta watch Inception for sure. But
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely. Well, man, my
All right,
phone's
bro.
getting ready to die, so it's
Hey, it's
time to
been good.
roll.
We right at 58 minutes anyway, right in the hour. So I appreciate it, everybody. Go back and check it out. We started out talking about presidential candidate West, and we finished up
Right,
talking about some reflections,
right.
self-reflecting. So that was good, man. And I'm
Yeah,
gonna check out Kipo and some of this other stuff, man, and we gonna chat about it.
yeah.
So appreciate everybody, man, and bro, be easy.
Peace.
Peace.